Hey guys, Scott Layton here. I have been to the park here, Riana Park in Korçë Albania a few times since I've been here in the city. I will be leaving town on Sunday. Today is Thursday, and I just wanted to enjoy it during the daytime at least one more time. Tonight I'm actually going to be heading over to a restaurant down the street. I'll go and show it to you later on the video. But I wanted to kind of do a before and after, see what the park looks like in the daytime, and then also see what the park looks like in the evening. So tonight I'm going to be heading to Mass and getting my confession. I'm Roman Catholic, and there's only one Roman Catholic church here in Korçë, but I'm heading to Pogradec, and there isn't any there, so I needed to get my Lenten confession in before I leave. Today has been a very fun, relaxing day. Just doing a lot of walking, enjoying beautiful sights, scenery, sounds. As you can see, there's a lot of other people here just strolling as I am. The way of life here is just so relaxed, so comfortable. I talked to a couple of guys who lived here, and they said that for locals, there isn't a lot to do. Oh, there's a path that goes up. Haven't seen that before. But I can't really speak to that. I'm not sure if I consider this. I think it would be a place that I definitely move to. I think it has a lot to do with age also. I'm 55, turning 56 in March, so I'm looking for different things than they were both in their late 20s. But to me, peace and tranquility is probably the most important things in life. Quality of life, quality of living. Oh, that's really cool. Looks like a little bar restaurant up there. A lot of the buildings are very cookie cutter here, it looks like. Not cookie cutter, like gingerbread cookie cutter kind of thing. Very quaint looking. So I'm going to head over to the restaurant that we're going to this evening, so you see a daytime shot and an evening shot. I've really enjoyed my time here in Korçë, much more than I enjoyed Toronto. Toronto was too loud, honking in the middle of the night, a lot of air pollution, a lot of smog. Here we're up in the mountains, as you can see in the background, surrounded by mountains. I walked up to I believe it was a 14th century church up in Majore, if I'm pronouncing that right. Unfortunately, that was closed. But you can see the peaks here on this one covered in snow still. One of the reasons I came to Korçë was because of the snow. Unfortunately, there hasn't been any snow since I've been here. There is a local ski town close by, but they don't have any public transportation. And I was afraid of taking a taxi and getting stuck there, so I decided not to do that. Maybe on my next trip. I will be back to Korçë. Like I said, this is definitely a place I could see myself living for the rest of my life. At this point, I am just going to do visa hopping for the rest of the year here in Albania, see some other cities. I want to go to Berat after Saranda, I think. There's a list of 7 or 8 places I want to visit while I'm here. And then I'm thinking about going to Australia in December. At that point, it will have been a year, and as an American, I can stay here for up to a year visa-free, and then I'll have to leave. So I'm going to go and just explore Australia and maybe Asia. I've never been to Asia yet. So since I'm there, it's a perfect opportunity to leverage. Again, like I said in my video on the Smart and Savvy Traveler, if you haven't checked that out, please do. It's a great video, if I do say so myself, on tips and tricks and things to think about when you're traveling. to leverage the most out of your time away. And one of the big concepts is just basing yourself, having a base camp, having a place that you stay that you can go and make short little trips to make the most out of your money and your time. So that's what I plan to go and do once I get to Australia. And there's just so much here to see and do in Albania. The country is becoming a lot more popular in Europe, but still basically off the beaten track as far as America goes. So if you are American, you definitely have to go and check out Albania. It is friendly. The people are very, very welcoming. It is relatively inexpensive. It's a lot cheaper than it is in the States. Your money goes a lot farther. You could have a great meal at a beautiful restaurant with great food for under $10 per person, including a drink or two. Crime is practically non-existent here, other than some corruption I've been told by in the government. I can't speak to that myself, I don't know. But I mean, it's definitely a safe place for both men and women to walk around. You see people of all ages walking around day and night. Not, in the middle of the night kind of thing, but they don't have any clubs here in Korçë, but they do have some bars that are open somewhat late. It's definitely worth a trip. I'm so glad I left America. I wasn't happy with my situation. I wasn't happy with what was happening in the country. The injustice, the division in politics especially. Quality of life, quality of living dropping for many Americans. A lot of people working 2 to 3 jobs. You find that here also in Albania. Unemployment is officially at 10%, but a lot of the people are very underemployed here. So they might have to take a few jobs to make ends meet. I was told that the average Albanian makes about $500 a month. And if they have to pay rent, that could eat up to about 30% to 50% of their income. However, a lot of people end up living in their own homes or with family, so that makes it a lot easier. Basically, people here live with their family until they get married, and then they venture off on their own at that point, which makes sense. A lot of Americans have to do that too, especially millennials and Gen Z, which just are in such a sorry state financially that they don't really have any opportunities to do anything else. You can spend your whole life just trying to save for a house in America because of the affordability crisis. So that's the restaurant we're going to this evening. It's called Bra House. It's a Germanic restaurant right off of Riana Park here. And I was told that it has some German food. I've eaten quite a bit of local Albanian food since I've been here, and the food has been fantastic. Fresh, reasonably priced. I've been cooking a lot in my Airbnb to save money because I'm a frugal person. And I mean, I could go out to eat every day if I wanted to, but you wouldn't really appreciate it as much anyway. Doesn't this kind of look like a gingerbread home? Another place with a beer garden like the Korçë brewery that I went to the other day, on Monday, after the beer tour. And let me tell you, the beer there was the freshest, the crispest beer I've ever had. It was right out of one of the big vats. It's the beer that they don't sell to the public. It's before you get it bottled or before you get it canned, and the taste was just amazing. It's one of those things you can't really sell, though, to the public because it's not shelf stable. But if you're a brewmaster, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So if you do get a chance to go to a brewery tour and get fresh beer, I definitely recommend it if you're a beer connoisseur. So yeah, if you do get the opportunity to go to Korçë Brewery, I definitely recommend their tour. You can see some more snow up in the mountains. But yeah, I mean, I could have stayed home in America at a job that I wasn't really happy at, wondering what my future would be. Huh? YouTube. YouTube. Take care, guys. Have a great day. The kids here are so friendly, especially the little ones with their parents. I've seen them say hi and wave at me in English. As you can see, a lot of kids here, they learn English at a very, very young age. It's their basically second language. A lot of people also learn German and French. A city like Korçë definitely has some French and Greek and German influences. I heard that Germany went and did a lot of the infrastructure here. At one point in time, France went and controlled Korçë during World War I. So you can see that in the influences from food to architecture. Lots of places here have crepes. If you're looking for crepes, this is a good place for it. A lot of Italian influence also. At one point in time, the fascist government in Italy under Mussolini took over Korçë during World War II. But you have to remember that Albania was once part of the Roman Empire, and they've had long-standing relationships with Italy and the Venetians at one point, the Byzantine Empire, and then later the Ottoman Empire. But there were a lot of Albanians moving back and forth from Italy, and Italians moving here also. So a lot of cultural nuances, a lot of multiculturalism. The population here is predominantly Muslim, at least in Albania. I'm not sure as much here in Korçë. I would guess that the majority of the people here are probably Albanian Orthodox. A lot of Albanian Orthodox churches all over the city, a lot of little shrines. I'll point out the next one we'll be walking past in a couple of minutes. And only the one Catholic church, like I said. So, yeah, a lot of Albanian Orthodox, I think, here. I believe this is Lent for the Orthodox. They don't celebrate Ash Wednesday like the Catholics do, so I'm not sure. I think it's the same. Yeah, I think Easter's the same time this year for both of us. Okay, there's that little Orthodox shrine I was talking about in front of us at that little park. But I could have been miserable, but instead I decided to do something about it, you know? Life is too short. Why not? I know that the expat life is not for everybody. It can be lonely. It can be stressful at times. But then again, so can regular day-to-day life anywhere you live. You have to be resilient. You have to be adaptable. You have to be willing to go with the flow, because things will upset you. Things will be confusing. Language barrier is a big thing. A lot of the population over 50 does not speak English. But pretty much everyone under 50s normally do. At least they were taught it. They might not be fluent. A lot of little parks. The beautiful building behind us in a circular shape. It's actually a grocery store. Yeah, so here's one of the little shrines I was talking about. A lot of people like candles. Still can't read Albanian. It's a very difficult language, especially for Americans. It is the oldest language in Europe. It has changed from its medieval roots. If you were a medieval Albanian, you probably wouldn't understand modern Albanian, but or vice versa. You can see some of the older buildings next to some of the more modern buildings. Some of the more modern buildings were created during the communist era for housing, especially. And a lot of the newer buildings have been done over with stucco and bricks to make them look more pleasing and to fit more in situ with the rest of the architecture here. But yeah, just enjoying one of my last days in Korçë. I hope you enjoyed the tour with me, and take care. If you haven't seen my other videos, watch them next, especially my video on the smart and savvy traveler. Take care, guys. Have a great day.